Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Headlich in Charge, awesome name by the way, I am playing Loam Pox. I have played this archetype on the channel a number of times before, including for Headlich. This is their second go around submitting this deck. The very basic deck tech, which I'm not going to get into too specific of because I have played the deck many times on the channel before. Pox, named after the card Pox, but was replaced by the card Smallpox in Time Spiral. Each player loses 1 life, discards a card, sacks a creature, sacks a land. Liliana, target player sacks a creature, both players discard cards. Thoughtseize, Trinisphere. This deck is just trying to make both players have no resources at all, and then grind back in with an engine like Life from the Loam, Urza Saga, Liliana, or Nether Spirit. When nobody's doing anything, it doesn't take much to win a game, and that's kind of what we're going for here. 4 Wastelands and a Ghost Quarter to go with the Loam, make sure opponents never have any mana. You have Mox Diamond to jump out ahead. Urza Saga can break open a stalled board state, as we all know if we've been watching the channel or playing Modern or Legacy at all. Baron Moor is a draw engine with Life from the Loam. I just realized I had 2 different art Baron Moors in the deck, thanks Magic Online, and by consolidating them into 1 art, I can make the whole deck tech bigger. Awesome. These little moments of joy in your day. Anyway, here's the bigger deck. Yeah, so we're just trying to grind opponents down to 0. We're also pretty willing to go to almost 0 ourselves on resources, and then crack it open with Life from the Loam, a Planeswalker, a recurring thing like Saga or Foundry, and win the game. Choices in this deck that are different from the norm. Trinisphere is the biggest one. You'll notice there is no Hymn to Tarok in this deck, which is one of the reasons to play the Dark Ritual fast black disruptive shell. Like Dark Ritual for Thoughtseize Hymn to Tarok is one of the opening starts that this deck really tries to thrive on, and this one doesn't do that. It is going for Dark Ritual Trinisphere instead, or even just like Mox Diamond land turn 2 Trinisphere. You could Thoughtseize on 1, Trinisphere on 2. That's a line that exists. Trinisphere is pretty interesting because it will shut the game down. Like if you have someone under a Waste lock or a Ghost Quarter lock, Trinisphere will actually end the game and take away many of the outs that somebody with even 1 mana might be representing. However, this deck also frequently ends up in spots where you have 2 mana and you're just like, come on, Loam. So you need to manage your own 3rd mana a lot more than you normally would. So I'm going to be interested in the Trinisphere tension involved in this deck. Also, turn 1 Dark Ritual for Trinisphere makes you look like a genius. Turn 2 Trinisphere off Mox Diamond, then you draw Dark Ritual later in the game. Makes you want to tear up this card and never play it again. So there is some like hoping that your cards show up in the right order involved if you put a card like Trinisphere in your deck. Because look at our deck. We got Dark Ritual, which is one of the most embarrassing cards possible under a Trinisphere. Thoughtseize, that's a 1 mana card. Noxious Revival, 0 mana card. 2 mana card, 2 mana card, 2 mana card, 2 mana card, 2 mana card. I'm not counting all these 1s because they're mostly here to be in the Saga package, but I mean, if you draw 1, you do have to cast it for 3 mana through a Trinisphere. There's only Liliana and Nether Spirit in the deck that are not affected for it. Normally in Trinisphere decks, you see cards that are just naturally cost more than 3, like Lodestone Golem or Boundary Inspector. Like, that's the kind of card you'd expect to see in a Trinisphere deck. Or like Chandra, Torch of Defiance, Goblin Rabblemaster. This is definitely just betting that it's going to be worse for the opponent than it is for us. And our deck's not really built specifically to play through this card. It's just like, it's going to be worse for you. Let's go. A pretty fair Trinisphere, all things considered. I got my eye on that one. This is the biggest change from regular Loam Pox to this list. The other one that I scrolled past is Noxus Revival. Headlich specifically said this card's been good in testing. If you've been loaming a bit and you draw a Noxus Revival, there's a good chance it's just Vampiric Tutor, where you can put a Smallpox or Liliana or whatever it is, a Saga on top of the deck and crack open the game state. I guess if you're loaming, you wouldn't target Saga, but if your loams get surgical extracted or something, this is a way to loop Sagas. If you need a Trinisphere, I'm not going to just list all the cards in the deck, but Noxus Revival is a way to get non-land cards back from your graveyard. It's also kind of a poor person's surgical extraction because it's put target card from a graveyard on top of its owner's library. This is a turn 0 play against Reanimator or Oops All spells. You can put the Grizzlebrand back on top of their deck where it's not helpful. You can put the Thassa's Oracle back on top of the deck where it's not helpful. You can also pseudo Fate Seal if you're in a board state where you just need like a turn to push your advantage. Like your opponent's on low resources, but you like just drew Urza Saga or something and you're not making constructs quite yet. Noxus Revival can target like a basic land or an uncastable spell in their graveyard and put it on top of their deck. They have to draw it, and it's kind of like a little time walk. We'll see how this one plays in practice. I will tell you my Cutthroat Spike instinct is that it's a little too cute, but Headlich said it's good, and I'm going to try it. I'm a little nervous about the 4 Abrupt Decay in the 75 instead of 4 Assassin's Trophy. Trophy does give them a land, which runs contrary to what we're trying to do here, but it also hits like Jace the Mind Sculptor or the Wandering Emperor or cards we can never ever beat, and we don't actually have any answers to cards like that other than make sure they never have 4 mana to cast it. So I guess we're leaning into that. And I want to talk about the notable exception of Boseiju, who endures. This is a green deck. It's a disruptive, destroy your lands kind of deck. It's a loam deck. Why isn't Boseiju here? And the answer is the same reason we're not playing Assassin's Trophy, because the ramp, like ramping them, isn't good. Like this deck literally has Sinkhole in it. We're not gonna ramp the opponent with a card like Boseiju. Already have 4 Wastelands and a Ghost Quarter. We're doing the things that Boseiju would want to do. And if we're not playing Assassin's Trophy, which can do everything that Boseiju can, then we're not going to play Boseiju either. And that's where we're at on that one. This is Headlich and Charges take on Loam Pox with Trinisphere. Let's go 3-ball some people. I'm on the play with a disappointingly fair hand, though turn 1 Saga is not the worst thing I've ever seen, though I'm not really in a hurry to Saga with this hand. I am going to keep. I think I'd have to mulligan this on the draw because it's just not interactive in a way that's meaningful. I also have the choice of Urborg, Retrofitter Foundry, or just Urborg, Cycle Baron Moor, or just play Baron Moor as my land. And I think I'm just going to make sure my land is in play. And I hope this is a deck that has creatures. If I can Sudden Edict into Liliana against a creature deck, that's actually insane, even without ramp or disruption. But if I can't do that, we're in trouble. Oh god, is this the Pox Mirror? Oh no, it's Reanimator or Storm of some variety. Yikes. Me without my Noxious Revival. They're targeting themselves with Thoughtseize. Okay, depending on how hard they go with the Grizzlebrand here, if they just pass the turn without drawing 7, then I'm still in good shape. But why would they do that? Okay, come on, Sudden Edict. I need you here. Grief, tilt. That's going to strip my Sudden Edict. I'm wondering if I should just concede right now. Yeah, I don't want them to know that I'm just fully Pox over here. I don't want them to see Sudden Edict and be thinking about it game 2. Like, I'm not winning this game. It's not going to happen. So let's just go to the sideboard and hide our information. They're probably going to think I'm like 4-color Loam, because Baron Moore is not a normal legacy card. Right, Mindbreak Trap and Surgical Extraction are both good here. Reanimator can kill you without casting 3 spells in a turn, but I got to bring in what I can bring in. I think Curse Scroll is pretty horrible. I don't think this is a sinkhole matchup either. Like, I don't really care about their lands. I care about their creatures. Like, I need to make sure the board and the creature situation in their graveyard are under control before I start picking off lands. Abrupt Decay does very little. Smallpox can actually answer basically any monster. Retrofitter Foundry, like, I have to win this game somehow. I can't cut too many win conditions. I could cut a Loam. Thoughtseize and Dark Ritual, Liliana, these things are all pretty important. So Liliana's plus is pretty dangerous in this matchup. I am just gonna go in like this, though. Effectively 5 Surgical Extractions in this deck, plus the Mindbreak Traps, and I'm on the play with the Thoughtseize and Trinispheres. Let's go. And now I know what I need to mulligan for. Okay, I can Thoughtseize them, and then Dark Ritual Liliana. I could Thoughtseize them, then Wasteland Dark Ritual Liliana. This is not bad. This is not bad enough to mulligan. Urborg Thoughtseize. They kept 7, which might mean they can power through a Thoughtseize. Wear Tear, Reanimate, Dark Ritual, Grizzlebaron. And I'm going to take the Reanimate. And the Wear Tear, I could see why they kept this hand. It's more important post-board to be able to beat a Leyline than it is to have a turn 1 kill. And that's what they went with. They are unfortunately not exposed to Wasteland right now, and they have no reason to expose themselves to Wasteland. That was a great draw. Now, if I plus and they dump their Grizzlebrand, I have the Surgical to clip it. I'm going to play Wasteland, Dark Ritual out Liliana, plus discard my other Liliana. They'll discard Grizzlebrand. And then I can activate Wasteland or cycle Baron Moore, and I can Surgical either way. We dump the Wear Tear. Okay. They have the correct read that I can answer Grizzlebrand, or else why would I do that? Good call. I do need to break the parity of this Liliana, though. Like, I need a Loam and green source or something, or else I'm going to be hellbent before them, and that's not how this works. Dark Ritual, there's that. They're just casting Grief. Tilt. Okay. Grief can resolve. I mean, it has to. I'm going to... Nope. I almost paid mana for Surgical Extraction, but I have Baron Moore. So I'm going to extract their Reanimates. They did a really good job playing around this. Grizzlebrand, Serenity, Polluted Delta are the hand. Let's look at this deck. What do we got? Grizzlebrand's, A Show and Tell, Inkwell Leviathan, my goodness. 2 Archons, alright. And as far as reanimate spells, there's 4 Exhume, 4 Animate Dead. Still lots of that going on. Okay. Grief resolves. It is unable to take Baron Moore from my hand. And then I can cycle Baron Moore, try to find a spell, minus Liliana to kill Grief. Which is great, because I was just talking about how I'm not really in a position to plus Liliana, now that I'm basically hellbent. Oh, that's a fucking good one. Okay. Target player sacks a creature. You get rid of your Grief. And Urza Saga. Tick-tock. Off we go. There's the Delta. They can play the Serenity. Yeah, that's pretty good. Bummer. That does give me a Wasteland target, but I'm not even sure if I want to do that. I can plus discarding the redundant Urborg, or plus discarding the Mox Diamond. I could also just not plus, because I know their hand is Grizzlebrand. And making a construct doesn't matter, because Serenity kills the construct and anything else that comes out of this thing. Yeah, I think plussing Liliana or playing any card here is just a mistake. I think wasting is a mistake too. Like, I think I need my mana more than they do. Zoom. All right, that brings Grief back. Glad I didn't plus Liliana. I lose my Mox Diamond here. And now I can minus and lose Liliana again. Oh, that's better. Okay, I'm gonna float black, play my backup Urborg, keep this one, Wasteland you. I'm going all the way into the dirt on this. This is a Pox game, LFG. We are both hellbent. I have Liliana, but they have a swamp. This is gonna be a mess. And I have removed their reanimates from the game, so all their plays are 2 mana. So they have to draw mana and then the play. And they have to do it in that order, because if they draw the spell first, Liliana will clip it. Uh-oh, okay. Slightly worried. All right, I have mana, plus Liliana. Now I'm looking for Loam. Going down to 0 mana sources might look crazy to you, but Pox really needs its opponent to fail in order so it can succeed. Like, if your opponent is doing anything, like has access to anything, it's dangerous. I will go to 0 permanents to get my opponent's hand empty almost all the time. Sweet. All right, I can plus. Discarding Nether Spirit is the same as casting it. I guess I get to attack 1 turn sooner, but whatever. It'll be in play next turn. Right, Nether Spirit triggers and returns to the battlefield. On Loam. Oh, Surgical. F yeah. I would like to plus this Liliana and keep that train going. I guess I can minus Liliana and destroy one of their lands here. Yeah, that works. Hit you with the big 6. This is just a sinkhole, but we take those. Okay, split them. They'll probably keep Marsh Flats, so I guess we'll see. Oh, they kept Swamp. All right, yeah, I guess playing around Wasteland makes sense when you only have 1 land. Entombing something here. And now they're back to Hellbent. So we're back in the pattern where they need to draw a land and then a 2 mana reanimation spell in that order. I'm gonna fetch a Bayou. Actually, just gonna do it twice here. Optimize that minor deck thinning. Thoughtseize. I don't need to Thoughtseize. I can plus, and they discard their card. I discard my Thoughtseize. That's the same as me casting Thoughtseize, except I don't lose 2 life, and I get to keep my Surgical. And now we're pushing for damage. This is a beautiful Pox game. Do I want Wasteland? I don't think so. I think Surgical is more important than Wasteland. They discard an Animate Dead. Good thing we did our -6 with Liliana. They had enough. Hell yeah. Yep, if you have a turn that you can just flurry off like Wasteland, Smallpox plus Liliana and put both players to nothing, you want to do that. Don't try to be clever. Don't bet that Liliana is going to control the Grizzlebrand, because it's not. Just cut all their resources out from under them and see who digs out of it first. Because our deck's built to do that, and theirs isn't. Only having 2 Loams in the deck is really nice for the early turns, but really hurts in the later turns. Like, that whole game, I was like, come on, Loam, when I actually boarded one out. Trinisphere is much worse on the draw. Shadow Spear, yeah, if they have Serenities, oh yeah, Trinisphere is pretty bad against Serenity too. I'm going to bring a Loam back in. I just want to be able to pay off once I'm ahead. There is maybe some small argument for Toxic Deluge, where it's just like, you can afford 7 life to kill Grizzlebrand, which is probably true, but I don't want to play to a game state where my opponent has Grizzlebrand in play, and I do have Sudden Edicts and Lilianas. It's not like I'm ice cold to that anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Down to 2 Trinispheres. Because I think my ability to like Thoughtseize you and Surgical in the same turn cycle is more important than reballing them. Like, if I put Trinisphere on the stack on turn 2 and they go like Dark Ritual, Entomb, untap, land, reanimate, I'm just ice cold. Speaking of ice cold, this hand's really bad. It has the Mindbreak Trap, but that card's not even good. I just brought it in because it's like not nothing, but that's all it is. Not nothing is all it is. This hand is not going anywhere after that. This is a hand. I'm going to keep this, and I'm actually going to bottom Nether Spirit. I will find that when I need it. If this Mindbreak Trap comes up, I'm going to be glad I have it. But if they just unload on turn 1 here, they have 5 cards in their hand. The old double mulligan. Thoughtseize. Okay. Well, they get to play around Mindbreak Trap now. But this Wasteland's going to be tight. I think you just have to take Surgical. Yep. Oh, Life from the Loam. Hello. Just snapping off the Wasteland. Constrict their options wherever you can. If they can, like, Grief reanimate Grief, that's kind of a beating. Basic Swamp. They already know about the Urborg, so I'm not going to give them the information by playing Basic Swamp. And I think every land in their deck is a Swamp anyway, so I'm not really, like, helping them that much. It looks like they have threaded the needle here. They're going to get Grizzlebrand into play. I just have to hope that Smallpox stands up to disruption. Okay, so there's the Grizzle. They can activate it once. They know Smallpox is in my hand. They've cast 1 spell this turn. If they have to, like, Lotus Petal or Dark Ritual to cast their discard spell, then I get it with Mindbreak Trap. If they don't have to do that, then I don't get it with Mindbreak Trap. They're likely to hit their land drop anyway. Oh, wow. No land drop past the turn. I'm going to get to Smallpox, their only land, and their Grizzlebrand. This is messed up. Oh, wow. Mox Diamond's really good here, too. So I can play Urza Saga and Mox Diamond, discard the Swamp, and then I can Smallpox, sacking the Urborg, and then I can cast Loam next turn. Discarding Loam. That was a really fucked up draw. And my opponent's going to be at 2 life. So reanimate's off. Fetch lands are almost off. A single poke from a construct is lethal. They still have to get through this Mindbreak Trap. And they didn't play a land last turn. Dredging the shit out of this Loam. You better believe it. But Wasteland, Verdant Catacombs, and Swamp. I don't want to give them action off of Urborg. The Catacombs. I'm going to fetch in my upkeep, make a construct, tutor up Nile Spellbomb, and then the construct should be able to kill them next turn. If they get something together right now, so they did just unmask, pitching reanimate, they can strip the Wasteland. Alright, yeah, they just got nothing. Smallpox, too busted. I'm not going to dredge Loam. Gonna make a construct and tutor up Nile Spellbomb. And I suspect we're about done here. Opponent agrees. Big Grizzle, no match for Smallpox. On to the next round. Holy guacamole. I am on the play with a turn 1 Trinisphere, but no follow-up mana or like anything. Yikes. I'm keeping. I'm about that Pox life right now. Okay, Mox Diamond. Discard the Forest. Dark Ritual. Trinisphere. It resolved. Alright. Is the game over? Is this against Storm? If my opponent just like starts playing basic lands like they're Bant or something, we could lose this real quick. Come on, land. Shit. Alright. This is a locked under your own Trinisphere game. Oh god, look at all these basics they have. Oh no. At some point, I'll discard Nether Spirit to hand size, and that is a win con. He just played 3 basic lands and Bitter Blossom. Oh, also a win con. Okay. We got something going here. It's actually really good if I draw another land right now. Unfortunately, Shadow Spear's in the sideboard. Oh, you're a Wasteland deck. That's fair. I deserve that. Just blue-black Fairy Rogues with lots of basic lands in their deck. Sinkhole. Next turn, I get to discard to hand size. This is what I was talking about, where the Pox deck kind of is not a great Trinisphere deck. Obviously, this hand just didn't cash out, and my opponent just easily played through this. Yeah, naturally, my opponent had 3 lands and Bitter Blossom instead of, like, 1 land. And Ponder Thoughtseize. We knew the risks when we took the game action. It's all good. I don't believe this game is winnable, even if my opponent never does another thing, but they had clinged to us also. Okay, yep. Turn 1 Trinisphere, LOL, dead. This is also a 24 land deck, and we're 13 cards into the deck. So little tough variance there, but we saw the opening hand and decided to keep it. Not allowed to complain about that. Plague Engineer is really good against Bitter Blossom. Abrupt Decay is good against whatever they're doing. Shadow Spear is going to be good against them. Do I just board out Trinisphere after that display? They are a deck full of basics. We saw at least 3 basic lands over there. Smallpox is really bad against Bitter Blossom, but it is really good at destroying basic lands. Pithing Needle, Nile Spellbomb. Wonder if this is a Kaito deck. That might be a weirdly specific card to be thinking about in Legacy, but as far as being blue-black, reasons to be a blue-black creature deck, Kaito Shizuki is pretty nice. That is a draw engine all day. Sudden Edict, also pretty bad. Like, Bitter Blossom is just a 1-card middle finger against Pox in general. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to, like, though they are a Brainstorm deck, they're not always gonna have just 3 lands available, and I'm not always gonna have 0 lands available. I think Noxious Revival is probably not great here, though they did show me the Cling to Dust, so I want to keep one of them around. I think this Sudden Edicts should come out, and I'll cut 2 of the Trinispheres. There's one still in there for YOLO opportunities, but I think like Plague Engineer and Control Your Mana is going to be my plan this game, or just get a Saga running. I don't know. This matchup is going to be tough. Nope. I would keep this hand with a green or black source, but it has neither. Okay, this one has both. I might just send the Mox Diamonds to the bottom, but Mox Diamonds are my green source. Maybe a Mox and a Decay go to the bottom. Or no, I'm only mulligan once. I'm ready to send 2 cards to the bottom. I'm going to keep this and send one of the Moxen down. I might need the other to cast these Abrupt Decays. Let's see what's in their hand. There we got Spell Pierce, Nile Spellbomb, Engineered Explosives, Brazen Borrower, and 3 lands. So they're very prepared for Trinisphere, which I don't want to offer them. Unfortunately, all of these cards are good against my deck. Like, just every single one. Explosives on 0 kills my Mox. Spell Pierce can just counter my Mox if I'm not careful. Nile Spellbomb messes up my Loam later. Brazen Borrower is a threat that also messes up my Mox Diamond. I think I'm going to take the Borrower. Underground Sea, go, huh? Bold. If I Wasteland here, then my Mox Diamond game is over. Still think I want to Wasteland here. Restrict their options wherever I can. There's the other Underground Sea. Ghost Quarter. I think I'd rather have that be a Mox Diamond, but I can't get my Mox Diamond Spell Pierced. I also can't just skip a land drop, so I'm gonna play my Ghost Quarter, but leave it in play as a land. Because I know they have a bunch of basics in their deck. Just cracking it off doesn't make any sense. There's the Spell Bomb, still holding up. Spell Pierce. Plague Engineer, someday you'll be helpful. Let's see if they just want to cycle the Spell Bomb or save it for later. Ponder, I'm jealous. Yeah, we saw last round what good Pox hands look like, and now we're seeing what bad Pox hands look like. We just don't have any of our engines online. Not even hitting land drops. It's tough. Cool. Here's to this. If I play Nether Spirit, that sort of hangs it out in front of the Nile Spellbomb. I think that's okay. I could also just jam the Trinisphere right now, but they have the Spell Pierce that I know about. No, I should be playing creatures because I know about the Spell Pierce. Brazen Borrower. Okay, they found another one of those. They just did nothing on their turn. I can play Retrofitter Foundry here. They can't Spell Pierce it. Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. I guess that just ran straight into Spellstutter Sprite, which I haven't seen, but I have to imagine is in this deck. I expect Brazen Borrower to arrive here. Okay, cool. They have popped their Spell Bomb. That unlocks future Loams, unlocks this Nether Spirit in my hand in the modes that it actually wants to be in. They do have engineered explosives to kill either Retrofit or Foundry, or just float it on 0 to clear out tokens when they get out of hand. All of that costs mana. Right, they did it for 1, which means I get a residual servo when the dust clears. It also means my Mox Diamond is unlocked if I draw a land to cast it. They make a servo. And they're destroying my Foundry. All good. Work through that one. Okay, I could Mox Diamond, discarding Baron Moore, jam Trinisphere right now while they don't have Spell Pierce up. Sounds pretty decent. Mox Diamond, card Baron Moore, and then 3 Trinisphere. Womp, womp, womp. Force of Will, pitching Ponder. Okay, so they're holding on to the Spell Pierce. They don't know that was the only Trinisphere I'm playing right now. Abrupt Decay is on at this point. Plague Engineer's on. Oh, fuck yeah. I think... So I can Ghost Quarter them, cast Loam, see if they want to fight over it. I could just attack with Servo. Yeah, I probably want to just do that first. Attack with Servo. Oh, Opposition Agent. That's cool. I'm going to destroy it. Can't Spell Pierce this. I'm not ready to start quartering. I could quarter myself and pick up Ghost Quarter, Baron Moore, Swamp. Like, go get my basic forest. But I can cast Loam around Spell Pierce next turn, which I think is going to be better. Ooh. Spell Pierce gets hurt pretty good, though. Gonna make that same attack again. See if they want to commit to an opposition agent or similar again. Hull Breacher. Okay. I can also destroy that. I could also... Nope, the Spell Pierce still coming in hard on me. Another Decay. Yeah, like, I can float black, Ghost Quarter myself, get Forest. That's just such a good tempo Spell Pierce. Yeah, I don't want to give them anything easy. I think that's too easy. Brainstorm, that's a powerful card. Like, if I just draw a land naturally, Liliana is out of Spell Pierce range. We've also seen Cling to Dust in their main deck. Like, if I just commit to a Loam and they just like knock out my Baron Moore or something, it's just like not even good. Then they untap and escape. All right, Wasteland, luckily not great here. Liliana. Okay, I'm gonna attack. See if they found another 3-drop to cast. All right, I'm done having answers for these. You got me. I could play Plague Engineer and finish off the Hull Breacher. I only care about that if they're a Days Undoing deck, which it's possible that they are, or it's possible they just have a bunch of like 3-drop powerful creatures here. Unfortunately, I can't Ghost Quarter them and float mana. I'm going to go for a Loam here. I'm going to float black, Ghost Quarter myself. They have Force of Negation. I'm really in trouble. Life from the Loam, target the 3 lands that are there now. And I can still play Plague Engineer and finish off the Hull Breacher. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually. Guess I name Merfolk. I haven't seen any other pirates. I've seen a lot of rogues and a lot of fairies. Spellpierce still just chilling in that hand. And now Loam's doing stuff. Bitter Blossom, okay. The old post Plague Engineer, Bitter Blossom. Unfortunate for me. Good for you. Am I dredging Loam yet? I think so. I'm interested in finding like Saga here. Also interested in knowing how many basic lands they play in their deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can also just play Liliana through Spell Pierce here and use Loam to break parity. Yeah, that sounds like a good play. Ghost Quarter and then Liliana. She resolved. Gonna plus, and then I'll discard another Spirit, just like we drew it up. They discarded their Spell Pierce finally, which means I can cast Loam and reload this hand. Okay, off we go. They can deploy their Brazen Borrower, put Liliana to 1, then Bitter Blossom triggers, and they have a pretty respectable board. I do have a backup Liliana. There are other Plague Engineers in my deck. Nether Spirit is triggering this turn if they don't kill Plague Engineer. Sting my GQ. Okay. Putting a damage on Liliana. Makes sense. Story checks out. Murderous Cut. Oh, bummer. That turns off my Nether Spirit also. Disappointing. Okay. I am... What happens if I dredge Loam? What happens if I don't? I am not going to dredge Loam. I'm going to plus to make sure they don't have Hull Breacher. Oracle's Recall. Yeah, okay. I will Dark Ritual with that. Float black. Each player discards a card. I don't need Verdant Catacombs. Then I'm going to cycle Baron more. And still don't think I'm in Dredge Loam territory. Or I'm looking for Sagas. Yeah, we're dredging Loam. Looking for Saga. I found one. Saga, Baron more, Ghost Quarter coming back up. There's a Saga. Bang. And I can even draw another card with Baron more. I'm not going to dredge Loam on this one. Corrupt Decay, not bad. And here's my Mox Diamond back. You know my hand's full of lands to cast it. And I'm going to discard Verdant Catacombs. I'm not sure that I want to give them black mana with Urborg. Like, the decision between discarding Urborg and Verdant Catacombs is pretty close. They can Wasteland my Saga this turn, and then I can dredge Loam and redeploy it. They take out this Liliana. Yep, there goes that. And I dredge Loam. Play from the Loam, get back Urza Saga, Baron more, Verdant Catacombs. Their hand is currently empty, so Urza Saga, gonna Abrupt Decay Bitter Blossom, and let's hope to fade Wasteland. Shadow Spear will win this game on its own, if this Saga gets to reach its natural conclusion. But if it doesn't, I could be in a whole lot of trouble. Not dredging Loam. I am interested in spells. A Cabal Pit kills Brazen Borrower. Yeah, we're doing okay here. There's Cabal Pit. I can kill Brazen Borrower, make a construct, and cycle Baron more this turn. Just gonna take out the Borrower now. Like, I don't want to take another 3 from it. It would be disappointing if they do come up with Opposition Agent here to stop my Shadow Spear tutor, but some things just are what they are. I'm gonna cycle Baron more. Let's check for Hull Breacher. Not gonna dredge Loam. Construct. They got something. Okay, Petty Theft. That's fair. Still not dredging Loam here. Construct. Moment of Truth. Please don't have Opposition Agent. Alright, cool. I'm gonna get this Shadow Spear. Play another Saga. Yeah, I just want relentless pummeling of Sagas at this point. And Liliana. All-Starter Sprite fucked up. Alright, well, it got their hand empty, which is what I was going for. Shadow Spear will still win this game on its own if this construct gets to connect, even once. This card in their hand right now is the whole game. Alright, they're attacking for 3. I don't believe I'm dredging Loam here. Taking a draw. Play Wasteland, and I don't get to cast Liliana also here. Am I dead? 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm still not dead, even if they do have a removal spell here. Let's find out together. They did not produce a blocker. Okay, we connected. That's good. I am going to Wasteland them. They're going to deploy Brazen Borrower. I am going to pop off the Wasteland. Just constrict any option is the name of the game here. I didn't make a construct before damage. I know it's an extra damage for them, an extra life for me, but it's also like, I guess I wasn't doing anything with the mana anyway. Maybe I should have done it. I was trying to like not get blown out. Like, I didn't want to play priority chicken with them because gaining 4 life is also just really good here. All right, no Hurkyl's Recall. Terrifying that they had even 1 of that card, much less 2. Oh, Plague Engineer is a good one. Another construct. So they have to beat these constructs and then also beat Plague Engineer. I'm just going to get Mox Diamond, discard Urborg, and play Ghost Quarter. All right, let's just attack. This is the first test. But if they have Dress Down, I'm actually in a lot of trouble because then I don't get to pick a color with Plague Engineer. Okay, they have 1 card left in their hand. Hope it's not Spellstutter Sprite. They did have the nut there. Okay, I can in combat. Ghost Quarter. All right, yeah, I have 3 mana. Yeah, this is the whole game. So I'm going to Ghost Quarter their untapped island and hope they don't have a 5th basic in the deck. We're still in combat here. Okay, they had a 5th basic in the deck. That trick didn't work. Okay, Mox Diamond. Discard a land. Mox Diamond. Discard a land. And are both of your last cards in hand insane? Nope, they're not. Fairy. Bang. Plague Wind Engineer. Ugh. That was tight. Brainstorm to follow up. That Hercules Recall was pretty cracked. They have 2 of that card in their list. Umezawa's Jute, and they are currently Hellbent. I'm going to Dredge Loam. I'm going to Loam, picking up Saga, Ball Pit, and Saga. Play Saga. Play Shadow Spear. Equip. Okay, now we're running. They're dead on board. I have Cabal Pit in my hand. I have Liliana in my hand. Not going to Dredge Loam. Maybe I should have played the Cabal Pit before combat. Now they can, like, chump block with Hull Breacher. Petty Theft, okay. That one is firmly whatever. Cabal Pit is back. League Engineer is back. I'm going to name Fairy. And they scooped it. That was a rough start, but we somehow poxed our way back into that game. I was pretty sure we were dead on, like, turn 5. But it kept coming. Okay, Hercules Recall messed up. I don't approve of that. Sudden Edict might be better than I gave it credit for. Now that I know they have Hull Breachers and Oppo agents, in addition to Bitter Blossoms and Spell Stutters, they have real creatures that I can pick off one at a time. Their Graveyard Hate, they're going to be a lot better about it this game. Like, they did end up cycling their Nile Spellbomb in that game, where I was really worried about it, and I think if they were just a little patient and beat up on Loam, then I wouldn't have won. I don't think I get to Sinkhole this deck. Definitely not on the draw. And I'm cutting the Trinispheres entirely because they're really well suited to beat that card. Do I want Deluges in? Yeah, probably. I think I have to get off of Noxious Revival. Just doesn't do a lot for the matchup. Okay, I'm going to bring in 1 Deluge. I already have 3 Plague Engineers, which is also Toxic Deluge. I can keep this one. If they want to play on basic lands and get poxed into the sun, I'm here for it. They're representing Spell Pierce. I could commit my Retrofitter Foundry, bait the Spell Pierce, and then pox them next turn. Do I think Retrofitter Foundry is more important than that to my matchup, though? Or can I use it as duress on Spell Pierce? I think I'm just going to pass. Because if they're worried about leaving up Spell Pierce, then they can't play Bitter Blossom on turn 2. And now I get to actually Thoughtseize. I'm actually going to Retrofitter first. Now I'm okay duressing Spell Pierce off of Retrofitter if I get to resolve Thoughtseize and take their Bitter Blossom. Oh, right, they have Spell Stutter. Yeah, they're going to Spell Stutter this, then I get to Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is the more important spell. Okay. Drawn in the Lock works because I had a fetch land. Cool. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to resolve Thoughtseize, and that's what's going to happen. They have Force of Will, 3 more lands, and Brazen Borrower. Yeah, Brazen Borrower's out. You can have Force of Will. Kind of a rough go on the Smallpox strat when your opponent has 5 lands. Well, I am committed, though. I can chuck my own Bayou now to make sure that if they draw a Wasteland, it's not good. I could also just cast Nether Spirit. Yeah, that's probably better. Yeah, let's go. There's not even a creature in play. I know they have lands for days. Underground Sea, that's not even a land that I saw, so they have even more lands than that. Nether Spirit, get in. There's 1 mystery card in their hand right now. I know they have 2 lands and Force of Will, so Liliana, this is your time. Hopefully I won't need all 4 of these Smallpoxes, or all 3 of them, however many this is. I'm actually going to discard Deluge, though. One of the islands is down. If I knew I was going to draw Liliana, I would not have played the Nether Spirit, but you don't get to know things like that. They're down to 2 cards in hand, one of them is Force of Will, and they do have 5 mana for the hard cast. Nice. Love an Urza Saga. Back with Nether Spirit. I'm just going to play Saga and pass. Like, I'm not going to give them this hardcast Force of Will. They can just Brazen Borrower if they don't Force of Will. which is a little annoying, but then Smallpox actually kills a creature next turn instead of just being like a weird Stone Rain that hurts me more than hurts them. Brainstorm's a good draw. That takes away all the information I've worked so hard to gather. The Brainstorm resolved. They spent a long time tanking about it. Like, that was a really long brainstorm. They know Liliana's in my hand, but they can see Urza Saga face up. Or Blossom, nice. Okay. I would love to draw a land right now. That kind of counts. Alright, I'm gonna attack first. Get my damage in there. And they have one card in their hand, so they can't force right now. Let's see if my Dark Ritual resolves. If they just Spell Stutter Sprite it. Okay. Now the question is, do I want Liliana or Smallpox? Like, Smallpox gets their hand empty. I could have both and just skip making a construct. A little worried about Bitter Blossom. What happens if I play Liliana and plus? They have so many lands. I mean, Liliana can answer the Brazen Borrow or the card in hand. Smallpox gets both, but it also constricts me in a way that I'm not a fan of. I think I want their hand empty and their board clear. I'm going for Smallpox. Okay, cool. It resolved. I'm going to discard a redundant Smallpox. Sacrifice my tapped Swamp. They discarded Fatal Push from their hand. Okay. And I'm going to use my floating mana to make a construct and then pass the turn. Under 5 minutes on my clock, but they are currently empty. Bitter Blossom is chunking. They have one random draw off the top right now to stop Shadow Spear from connecting. Nile Spellbomb's okay. It's definitely a redraw at least. Yeah, they're not in a position where they get to wait until I have Loam. They need to cycle that now. Ah, Kaito Shizuki, I told you. A Sudden Edict. I can put Shadow Spear into play and get busy attacking now. I could make a second construct and give them 2 more draws to... Yeah, I'm gonna just pile onto the board and just, if they have the Hurkyl's Recall, get fucked me, I guess. See if they want to take 3 or keep their creatures around. If they take this 3, there's a world where they just lose to their own Bitter Blossom. Okay, I think they're probably right to take another draw step here before losing any creatures. Because in a deck like this, when you're blocking, you're losing. Alright, it's Hurkyl's Recall or bust here. Please don't have it. But Kaito gets to draw a card straight up. 2 cards in their hand. Moment of truth. Oh, you have Liliana too. Look at you. We're having a good time. Target player sacks a creature. Yes, my construct is gone. Okay, let's do it. Equip Shadow Spear, and we'll find out together how this game's gonna go. I'm going to attack their face. Spellstutter Sprite. Okay, so they're gonna triple block, lose all their creatures. They get to keep 1 ninja behind. It's actually pretty big. Okay, so I'm at 14. You're at 6. Bitter Blossom is not nothing over there. I do have Liliana in hand, and they know I have Liliana in hand. Smallpox deals 1 damage. If they plus Liliana, I'm going to discard Sudden Edict. The Kaito is just really cracking it open here. Each player discards a card. Maybe I should discard my Liliana, actually, because Liliana is just going to be an Edict anyway. And a counterable one at that. Wasteland. Yeah, I'm going to sandbag that. Yeah, I'm just going to Sudden Edict this turn. Oh no, not a real attacker. Opposition Agent, that's pretty good. I'm just going to Sudden Edict now. They'll probably sack their fairy, but I want to make sure I can take out a fairy that would be able to attack. Attacking for 4. This is just a race. Straight up race. And I'm not winning it. Engineered Explosives on 1. That can kill my Shadow Spear. Discard Wasteland. Kaito draws a card. Ooh. Please. No counterspell. No counterspell. No counterspell. No counterspell. No! That was 1 random card off the top of their deck. Ugh. Ah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, now I'm dead. 1 random card off the top of the deck was the difference there. Like, they could have minus Liliana right away, but it would have killed two creatures on the way through, plus the upkeep Bitter Blossom token. I get to keep my Smallpox because Liliana has to minus instead of plus for a turn. Yep, that extra draw being Spellstarter Sprite was it. And they found a Wasteland, so they can waste me off of finding another Plague Engineer. This was a great match. Their deck's really cool, and Kaito Shizuki really broke it open. I don't believe there's a draw left in my deck here. GG's. That was really awesome. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play again. 3 for 3 on the play with Pox. That's pretty good. I've had recorded multiple leagues lately where I was on the draw 5 in a row, so I'm earning it back. I'm going to keep this. I can Thoughtseize into turn 2 Liliana with this spread here. Let's hope that's actually good. Seize you. Uh-oh. This is not a matchup where Thoughtseize into turn 2 Liliana is good. I guess I take the Mox Diamond, and then I can eat the Reclaimer with Liliana, eat the next Reclaimer with Sudden Edict. Endurance might be a problem eventually, but their mana kind of sucks. They have to like jam Beseiju. Yeah, I'm taking Mox Diamond. I hope I draw a land, because I would really love to keep this Wasteland around. Oh, Sinkhole. That's fucking funny. Okay, I'm gonna play Wasteland, and then discard the Verdant Catacombs to cast Liliana. Right, so here's Lily. I'm gonna minus her, take out the Reclaimer, and then next turn I can Wasteland and Sinkhole, or I can Sudden Edict and Wasteland. I got some options. If they draw a red source, they can just P-Fire Lily. Okay, they drew a land. Oh, and another way to kill Liliana. That's cool. All right, this is good. There's not enough black mana present here to Sinkhole and Sudden Edict. I'm gonna play Saga, and I think I'm more worried about Reclaimer than I am about their lands. If I plus Liliana, they're gonna discard Punishing Fire, which is good for now, but doesn't matter later. Or like, yeah, like at some point they can recoup that. I can take them off green mana entirely with Wasteland. I'm going to plus Liliana first, see what happens. I don't want them to know if they're going to have this elf or not when they make their discard decision, which I'm sure is just Punishing Fire regardless. Oh, wow. They chucked the Endurance. I like that. I guess I have more information than they do. Oh, Sudden Edict. And then I'm going to Wasteland Beseiju, which does let them Rishadan port my Urza Saga and stop a construct from coming into play. But if they're spending their turn doing that while I'm plussing the Liliana, that's not bad. All right. And they use their mana to draw a card anyway. Another Beseiju. Exploration. All right, that's pretty good. But I am going to get constructs in before that is super important. All right, back up Liliana. Let's both discard cards. I can start making constructs. Please don't draw Loam. Oh, this is... I guess I'm not really sure what this deck is. Because it has Reclaimers, which is like Green-White Depths, but Green-White Depths doesn't play Rishadan Port or Exploration. Oh, it's a little confusing what's going on right now. Why would you Rishadan Port that? I'm just gonna like do this anyway. I guess if you're not doing anything else with the mana, it's free. Okay, I can insulate against Loam by just getting Nile Spellbomb. I think that's the play. Yeah, I'm just getting Spellbomb. Play my land, plus Liliana. Discarded a Mox Diamond, and I'm going to attack you. Okay, so now I don't care about Loam. I'm not worried about Wasteland. I'm not worried about punishing, or Grove of the Burn Willows, the other half. Yeah, just a beautiful Pox execution there. On the play, Thoughtseize you, turn 2 powerful thing. The information from Thoughtseize let us map out that whole game. Ah, so pretty. Okay, I think I want Surgicals because Loam is a problem. Do I want Abrupt Decays to try to fight over Explorations, or is that the axis I want to play this game on? Trinisphere is definitely not playable against lands, and especially on the draw. They don't cast a whole lot of spells anyway. I like Surgical. Sudden Edict could be important. Sinkhole actually looks pretty great. Nile Spellbomb, Breathing Needle, Curse Scroll. Curse Scroll is kind of low impact for the matchup. If I cut Curse Scroll, I get another Abrupt Decay. Do I want my Shadow Spear? I don't think so. They might also be a Saga deck. In fact, it's pretty likely they are a Saga deck. And Shadow Spear is pretty good in Saga Mirrors. But I have all this sweet removal. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it like this. I might bring Shadow Spear in on the play if I want to be like a little more aggressive. But I'm just gonna try to control their lands. Their deck is called Lands, right? I'll keep this. They mull to 6. Mox Diamond, okay. That was my Thoughtseize target last game. Probably a good idea to get it into play now. The Seiju, Mox Diamond, go. Are we getting Veil of Summered? What's the situation here? I don't really want to crack off a Wasteland until I know that they don't have Loam. I think this Mox Diamond is good to go, regardless, though. Discard Burden Catacombs. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I could Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, Abrupt Decay, Mox Diamond, but then I can't get the Boseiju. If I play a Wasteland on the Boseiju, Dark Ritual doesn't get me to Abrupt Decay, so I'm just going to set up a multi-turn situation here. See what's going on. Prop rotating in response. Okay. Getting a Saga. Are there spells in your hand? Breathing Needle. Their hand is Rishadan Port. My hand is Wasteland. FOH. Okay. Their hand is Rishadan Port, which cannot target Mox Diamond. Please don't draw Loam right now. Thoughtseize. I'm not going to cast that. I'm going to Abrupt Decay this Mox, though. We take our sinkholes however we can get them. Now I need to push this advantage somehow before my opponent draws Loam. Come on, Liliana. Come on, Saga. Give me something. Hey, there she is. What's up, Queen? Dark Ritual, Liliana. Plus, I'm going to lose my Thoughtseize. They lose whatever their one card in hand is. And I'll play my Bayou, because I'm trying to play from Hellbent at this point anyway. They don't have a green source. Urborg. Guess I have to play it. I don't know if there are deck benefits from black mana. They probably at least have Dark Depths, which my Urborg now turns on completely. So please don't naturally draw Dark Depths, because the whole combo is just in play right now. Mox Diamond, okay. Discarding Boseiju, sure. They're porting me, and oh yeah. Put it in the hole! Yeah. Actual Sinkhole to complement our Abrupt Sinkhole. And they've had quite enough of that. That was a proper poxing. GG, opponent. Finally lost a die roll. I'm so unlucky. I have an accelerated Urza Saga here and Wasteland to Disrupt. I'm going to keep this even though it's not particularly sexy. But I have 2 pieces of fast mana, so like any payoff is good. And it's also like kind of Thoughtseize proof. Well, Reanimator is a different conversation. There's a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard. All right, deck, help me out. Ah, the revival, it's here. Okay, do I want to get my Saga rolling or waste them? I think I want my Saga rolling because that can get Nile Spellbomb, and I just want the clock ticking on that. Mox Diamond, discard Swamp, and okay, let's go. The main deck, poor person Surgical Extraction is here. Head Lich. There it is. You are right. Unmask. Okay. I'm going to Noxious Revival. Let me make sure who they're targeting with Unmask first. Targeting me. Okay. All right. Let's put Grizzlebrand on top of your deck. An Unmask is going to take my Dark Ritual. Unfortunate. Dark Ritual was going to let me Wasteland them and still make a construct next turn. And now I don't have that luxury. Ooh. Blue mana. Dark Ritual. Okay, they can flashback their Faithless Looting, put the Grizzlebrand in the graveyard, and if their last card is Reanimate, they still get Grizzlebrand here. Bummer. I tried so hard. Okay, it's not reanimate. Hey! Okay, okay. The deck seems interested in helping me out here. I'm gonna give up on construct tokens, and I'm gonna wasteland them off of red. I think that color will be more important. And I'm gonna hold up Sudden Edict if they do have reanimate, and then I'll just tutor up a Nile Spellbomb if they don't do anything. Exhume, resolves, please pass priority. Pass priority. Alright. I will no, I guess I don't want a Sudden Edict now. I don't know, that's kind of tricky at this point. Because, like, if they just Lotus Petal reanimate, they have it back. Lotus Petal. They have made their land drop for the turn. Like, if they can get another creature into play this turn, I'm in trouble. If they just pass, I actually think I win. Okay, Sudden Edict you. And then they have to go to discard, and then I tutor up my Nile Spellbomb, and we're doing good? I guess I win is pretty generous against the opponent with 14 cards in their hand. I just mean, like, I'm not dead. I'm counting that as a win right now. Curse Scroll, okay. Float a colorless. Tutor up Nile Spellbomb. Play my land for the turn and play Curse Scroll. I have a win condition, and they're actually at 4. So it won't take Curse Scroll that long to win the game. Welcome to 1998. Nile Spellbomb is my only card in play that wouldn't have been in this deck in 1998. If they have an Entomb to go with this, they get to juke around it. That's unfortunate. Because I can... Exhume doesn't target. So I can bomb their graveyard, and then they Entomb in response, and then Exhume picks up whatever they just put in, and with their 6 cards in hand, seems likely they have an Entomb. Okay, let's see what creature is left to get here. And they're at 3, which is markedly not 2. For those of you keeping score at home, 3 and 2 are different numbers. Archon, yep, okay. Gotta draw Liliana or Edict. Oh, Noxious Revival. All right, wise guy. Noxious Revival can put Sudden Edict on top of my deck. Might be too late, but I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna crack, get Bayou, and I'm gonna pass the turn. I'm gonna take 11 this turn, and they're gonna gain 3. So they attack. I respond with Curse Scroll, targeting you. And I name Noxious Revival. Surprise, that's what it was. You're at 4. And then I'm going to put Sudden Edict on top of my deck. And then they draw a card and gain 3 life. And we see if they can produce a second monster that kills me. Or even if they can produce this same Archon again next turn. I lose to that too. 7 cards is so many cards in your hand. Maybe I was supposed to clip the Grizzlebrand on the first 7, but I don't know. Then they can just reanimate it. That's a tough spot. Grizzlebrand's a good card. They were very smart to draw cards immediately and not pass priority. Yeah, here's Exhume. Okay, okay. Honestly, we made it to turn 7 before we died. I count that as a W. Game 1 against Reanimator. Noxious Revival came in clutch. Oh yeah, I'll go out on my own terms. Let me see your hand. Thoughtseize, reanimate Dark Ritual, animate dead. Yeah, even if we drew an Edict there, we're still dead. Okay. Good to know. That was pretty exciting, though. Noxious Revival did stuff. Urza Saga was involved. Surgical Extraction. And Mindbreak Trap. Curse Scroll almost won that game, but then it didn't. Sinkhole, not where I'm trying to be. I think I landed last time that I don't really love Trinisphere in the matchup. Abrupt Decay, no. You can Abrupt Decay, Animate Dead, but that's just one of their... It's just 4 of their 12 reanimate spells. Yeah, I can go a little thinner on Trinispheres. Though, on the play, if there's a time to have Trinisphere, it's on the play. I'll try it in full numbers on the play, and then I'll probably trim some for game 3 on the draw. Boundary is kind of low impact. Mindbreak Trap is pretty bad, too. But, like, what else am I doing here? Okay, I'll leave 2 Trinispheres in. Does that make any sense? I don't think so. If I'm playing this card, if I'm playing 2 Trinisphere on the play, then I should have Trinisphere. Spellbomb and Needle are both great. I could cut a Loam, but I remember not liking that last time. Alright, fine. It's Trinisphere. Sorry, Trinisphere. I'll just draw one of the two I leave in the deck, don't worry. Turn 1 Dark Ritual Trinisphere incoming. It's not Dark Ritual Trinisphere. It is Thoughtseize Noxious Revival, though. I'm going to keep this. Seize you. They kept 7. Again, it's a slow hand with counter hate in it. That is how you do that. Entomb, Animate Dead. Oh, I'm not going to take their Unmask. If I take Entomb, then they're going to need Faithless Looting to get creatures into the graveyard, and I can Wasteland their red source. If I take Animate Dead, they don't have payoff. I'm going to take Entomb. That also constricts their black count or Unmask. Like if they want to unmask me, it's going to cost them their only payoff. Oh, double Noxious Revival. Interesting. I could just slam Smallpox right now, and they played around this Wasteland. I think I want to play my Verdant Catacombs and pass, and then if they Faithless Looting, play Swamp next turn, I can Wasteland Smallpox, and then they have nothing. And now I have 2 revivals, so I can even beat the Unmask if they do string it together right now. Oh, they just drew another Entomb. All right, that works too. Good job. You did it. But they don't have a black card to unmask me with. They do have Faithless Looting to redeploy the Grizzlebrand from the top of the deck next turn. There's the Swamp. There's the Animate. I'm going to get Bayou and pay the Iron price on Noxious Revival. Okay, so that's gone. Animate Dead's gone. Faithless Looting is in their hand. Grizzlebrand's on top of the deck, but I'm not worried. Oh, I can remove Grizzlebrand from the top of the deck. Or I can just make it so they can never cast spells. I think I like that. Wasteland your Badlands, Smallpox. Let's get ugly. I can discard Noxious Revival or Dark Ritual. I think I want to discard Dark Ritual and sack my Swamp. They discarded Serenity, which I didn't know about. So I know their whole hand right now, and none of it is lands or mana of any kind. Now I need to win this game. Gotta find a Saga or something. And I am just gonna fetch. I'm not protecting anything here. Not gearing up for a Brainstorm. I can Noxious Revival cards from my own graveyard. Ooh. And maybe I will. I'm going to put Liliana into play, but not activate her, because I know they're holding Grizzlebrand, and I know they don't have a discard outlet currently. Booking Grief. Okay. Pitching Unmask. So that's gone. Do I want to revive any of the cards that I have? I could revive Thoughtseize, or I could revive Smallpox, but Liliana can kill a creature if it comes into play this turn. Their hand is Grizzlebrand, Looting, Wear Tear, Mystery card. I'm not convinced I actually want any of these cards. I could put Serenity back on top of their deck. The old Fate Seal mode. Yeah, that actually sounds sick. You can have your Serenity back. And then Grief misses. Then we go to my turn. Draw. Swamp. Faithless Looting. Wear Tear. Mystery card. Serenity. I really don't want to put that Grizzlebrand in their graveyard, so Lily's just going to chill. Stay chilling. They drew Serenity, which we knew was going to happen. I drew Mindbreak Trap. Okay, Lotus Petal, 1 spell. If they do Petal, Looting, and find Reanimate, the Mindbreak Trap is just randomly going to blow out here. 1, 2. I kind of hope they do find it. I'm rooting for them. Ah, bummer. They did all that and then just passed. The Grizzlebrand's in the graveyard now, though, so I can start plussing Liliana. Okay, that's a card I'm happy to discard. Would have loved to find a Loam there, but whatever. Okay, there's 2 cards left over there. Guess I just have to hope they are not land Animate Dead. 1 spell. 2. Oh my god, please reanimate. Tilt. I might be able to trick them here with a Ghost Quarter. I'm gonna Ghost Quarter the Badlands. And they might be like, hell yeah, 2 mana spell, you idiot. And then I can Mindbreak Trap it. Told you. Bang. If I let them untap, they would have played around that. Find the levels. Also taking them off red. Even if they didn't have the 2 mana spell, they don't get to flashback Looting next turn. Gonna cycle Baron more. Yeah, found the Saga. Now let's get to work. Reanimate is good for a draw 7. And 2 mana spells I'm not worried about. Another more. Cycle that. Ball Pit plus Liliana. Okay, and the Nile Spellbomb's coming up this turn and bringing a bunch of attackers with it. Feeling like we got this one. I get Nile Spellbomb, play my Wasteland, plus... Okay, this one's going to end pretty quick from here. Bait the hook, set it, and reel him in. That Mindbreak Trap was hot. Okay, on the draw, I'm sure Trinisphere is terrible. And now they've seen Mindbreak Trap, they have to think about it. Like, when they keep their hand, like, can I just dumpster? Because I have 5 surgical extractions in my deck with the Noxus Revival and 3 Mindbreak Traps. They really have to be careful around my free interaction. On the draw, what am I going to replace these Trinispheres with? I could bring the Sinkholes back in. If they keep a slow hand to play around my interaction, and I can pick off their lands here and there, they're a low land count deck. In Retrofitter or Curse Scroll, if they get fast and loose with their life total, but I don't think that's where I want to be. All right, Sinkholes back in. Ooh, I mean, I'm keeping this. It has 2 pieces of free interaction, and my Black Source comes into play tapped, which is the only thing I'm like, ugh, kind of not excited about here. There is no way to make a monster on turn 1 without casting 3 spells. Like, it has to be Mana Source, or it has to be Entomb effect, Reanimate effect, and Fast Mana effect. So they have to play slow. There's lots of ways to play around it on over 2 turns. Oh, they drew Chancellor. You love to see it. They did not reveal that at the start of the game and then discarded it to their turn with Faithless Looting. Come on, Black Source. Shit. Alright, here's this tap Baron more, see how deadly this is. Moment of truth. I'm getting unmasked, they're pitched Reanimate. I'm gonna Noxious Revival the Chancellor. And unmask gets to take something. Let's see if they're just gonna play around Mindbreak Trap anyway, and think the Thoughtseize is more important. Which there's a good chance of, quite frankly, at this point. If they're trying to go this turn, then they take Mindbreak Trap. If the game's taking another turn, they take Thoughtseize. Okay. Thoughtseize is gone. Chancellor's on top of their deck. 1 card in their hand. I can Sinkhole. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I'm going to fetch Bayou, and I'm going to Sinkhole their red source. That takes off the Faithless Looting, makes it even farther away. I know they're drawing a shitty creature that they don't want in their hand. Faithless Looting is the way to get it out of the hand. And they gave it up. They know what's coming. Awesome. Pox, 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 Pox. I am on the draw in the final. Bread and butter for 1 round. I have turn 1 Dark Ritual Liliana. A second land turns on Loam. I'm actually going to keep this hand. It's pretty close to being great. Opponent's on 5. This is good for my discard deck, unless they're a combo deck. Okay. Ornithopter. Prismatic Vista Ornithopter. Is this hammer time? What's happening? Oh, this is a ninja player that I pair against with some regularity. Oh! Oh no, I needed to be on the play for that one. Okay, please don't have a counterspell. Mox Diamond. This is a Liliana game, if there ever was one. Don't daze me, bro. Don't daze me, bro, again. The game will end to a daze on the spot. Okay, cool. This even plays around the converted into a 4/4 mode, because if they turn their 0/2 into a 4/4, then they just sack that. Non-targeted removal. Huge game here. Now I gotta just, you know, come up with a land immediately. Because this Retrofitter Foundry will do stuff over time. They do only have 2 cards in hand, though. Let's take them. Ingenious Infiltrator in the graveyard, plus Liliana, discard Nether Spirit. They lose their Underground Sea. Really need that land for Loam deck before it's too late. Hellbent opponent. Lots of good draws in their deck. Oh, we're blue-white ninjas. Right, I remember playing as this deck. It is blue-white ninjas. It's interesting they fetched Tundra when they already had plains. Or Wait a minute. I gotta consult the game log. Wow, no underground sea. So I don't even have to worry about ninjas. And Nether Spirit can block servos. There we go. Money, money. Grab Bayou. I guess I should have grabbed Swamp because Mox Diamond already taps for green, but it's not going to matter pretty soon. Each player discards a card. Do I even want Trinisphere? And it could be cool. It could also be bad. I think I do want Trinisphere. I'm going to discard Thoughtseize. Liliana's already checking their hand. And then next turn I can go land Trinisphere and then waste you. Maybe you're out of spells. And then I just got to figure out this Retrofitter Foundry. They're continuing to pressure Liliana. And they can generate a 4/4, which I can block forever with my unkillable Dingus. It's not a Loam turn. Ooh, Sudden Edict. That's really good. Is it really good? Doesn't matter. I'm going to plus Liliana and get their hand empty, and then we'll make decisions. Okay, I'm going to discard Verdant Catacombs. Or do I discard Wasteland? I got to map out this over multiple turns. So if I put the Wasteland in the graveyard and cast Trinisphere now, the next turn I can pay 3 mana for a Loam, pick up the Wasteland, play it, and waste them. Yeah, so I have to discard Wasteland this turn. Okay, that makes sense. The counterintuitive play of discarding the land that you actually want to play. Right, Trinisphere will at least mess with their cantrips if they draw them. I'm not going to attack because I want to protect from a 4/4. A servo. Okay. Going wide on flying creatures seems the way to go. Continuing to poke at Liliana. Oh, am I getting ninja'd? Moon Circuit Hacker. Dope. Okay. Alright, so Liliana's dead. That's cool. I'm going to dredge Loam. I'm going to cast Loam, pick up Wasteland, Wasteland, Verdant Catacombs. I'm going to waste them, so spells are not an option anymore. Still making servos. Okay. We are seeing, much like round 1, where the Bitter Blossom defeated my mana denial by itself, Retrofitter Foundry's got a similar vibe. And no attacks. I think I should be just turbo loaming, looking for sagas. So Cabal Pit also does the thing. And I can play Pit and risk getting wastelanded. I think that's worth it because the alternative is I draw Saga next turn and then can't play it because I need to play Cabal Pit to stay alive. They are poking for damage. Like, if nothing changes on this board, I am losing this game. It would be pretty hard for nothing to change on this board. I think I'm taking a draw this turn so I can Sudden Edict and activate Cabal Pit. I guess if I dredge Loam, that's still... No, that doesn't change anything. Okay. Where is the moment here? Okay, so they're making a 4/4, which means I can Cabal Pit this creature, the servo, and Sudden Edict the ninja right now, and then they just have a 4/4, which Nether Spirit can block, ad infinitum. And if they do come up with like land Swords to Plowshares, then they're not drawing cards with ninja this way. Yeah, I'll block. What it's for. Making a servo, getting F6 value, and playing around Sudden Edict. That's smart. Time to dredge Loam, come up with a Saga. There's a Saga. All right, now we're in. Get back Cabal Pit, as well as the Urza Saga. Hope they're not sandbagging a Wasteland over there. Uh-oh, they found the third land. They didn't jam Swords to Plowshares onto the stack, so I'll count that as a success. Now their Spirit returns again. I love when old cards are actually just good. Old-timey favorites showing up to deliver in the new world. Smallpox is interesting. I wonder if we'll find a spot where that's actually good. But here's Cabal Pit. Yeah, the Cabal Pit, if they make a Thopter out of the servo, I can pick off that Thopter. If they make another servo, I can pick that off. Do I even care about that, though? No, I can actually kill the construct with a block plus minus effect. And I'm also just pooping out 3/3s right now. If they attack with everything, they have a ninja. Okay. Well, 3 mana Ponder. Trinisphere finally doing work here in round 5. Disappointed the Shadow Spear is not in my main deck right now. That would be really great. I think I'm just going to Needle Retrofitter Foundry. And then I can work my way through the rest of these things. Or I could just go in bigger on my own Retrofitter Foundry. Oh, another Saga. Hell yeah. Yeah, if I can keep this relentless pace going, then I do want Pithing Needle. Just going to turn off their Foundry, deny food, air, and water to my opponent right now. Gonna attack with my 5/5. There's not really good blocks here. Well, they could block Sack, make a Thopter. Yeah, that's probably the play. Oh, and they can't do that because they just turned off Retrofitter Foundry. That's right, I had a plan all along. If they block with everything, I wrath their board with Cabal Pit. And if they chump block, that's good for me. Okay, cool. The tide is slowly turning here. Murktide Regent, that's a good one. Okay, it's slowly turning back. Oh, it was only a 5/5 though. I wonder how many spells are in their hand that Trinisphere clipped the velocity on. Okay, I think I do want to pit the servo. No easy blocks here. And then I think I should be able to get the Murktide Regent with a Smallpox this turn. I attack with these two. Probably going to block with Construct. Oh no, not blocking with Construct. Cool. In that case, let's just mush damage in there. Okay, now I don't need to block or answer the Murktide. I'm just beating it. Okay, what do you got? Is it time for Plateau, Team, or Battle Rage? Even that's not enough. Okay, cool. That was a scrapper. We kind of did the thing we were supposed to do, but the Retrofitter Foundry stuck in there for way too long. Even though it was big that game, I think Trinisphere's bad on the draw. A ninja deck can win without casting spells, so I'm not going to give them that out. Shadow Spear is important for the tempo game. Plague Engineer is good against... like, you can name Ninja or you can name Servo. There's a lot of action there. Abrupt Decay. They are a Murktide Regent deck, so maybe that's not great. I think without the Trinispheres in, the sinkholes get worse. And on the draw, sinkhole is also not great. Though they are trying to do 1-drop into 2-drop, but they showed me Moon Circuit Hackers, so they have 1-drop ninjas. I think I want Toxic Delusion here too. And sinkhole out. I think Abrupt Decay should be in a higher number. Nihil Spellbomb, not super important. Pithing Needle does matter. Not a huge Noxus Revival matchup. Okay, I'm just gonna add Shadow Spear and a bunch of removal and take out a bunch of prison elements. Liliana's really good against ninjas if she starts doing her thing before they're drawing extra cards every turn. Turn 1 Toxic Deluge. Fucking sign me up. That was a joke, but I am keeping this hand on the strength of an accelerated Urza Saga. When I say accelerated Urza Saga, I mean I can play Saga on turn 1 and make a construct on turn 2. Opponent mulled to 6. And they have a Ponder to kick it off. He did not shuffle the Ponder. Ooh. Okay. I'm still gonna move in on Saga here. I'm gonna hold back the Mox Diamonds. I don't want them to know that I have extra mana. It may affect priorities. Okay, that's powerful, but I did board out, or board in an extra Abrupt Decay. Liliana. I don't want to play Urborg, because that helps them. Mox Diamond, let's go. Discard Urborg. I could resolve Liliana and just start plussing right now. Skip the constructs. You know what? That sounds pretty freaking good. Liliana's in. Each player discards a card. I'm going to chuck this Mox Diamond. Yeah, if they stick like Teferi this turn and bounce my Mox Diamond, that actually hurts because then Diamond's in my hand with no lands to discard to it, and Saga dies without making a construct. Changeling Outcast. Not what you wanted. Okay, I am making a construct. I'm going to minus Liliana. What do I want to do here? Pithing Needle, Retrofitter Foundry, Curse Scroll. Curse Scroll could actually dominate this game. Though Foundry keeping the creatures coming. Yeah, I think I want Foundry. Cabal Pit. Sack your Changeling Outcast, please. Cabal Pit is just a bad swamp. With Rest in Peace in play, you need Threshold to do the -2 thing. Brainstorm. Did find a land. Land number 3 is here. Prismatic Ending, my Foundry. Okay, it's gone. That makes my construct a little smaller, but also gets their hand a little smaller. Don't need a Dark Ritual here. Just gonna plus and discard a Deluge. 1 card left in their hand. I should remove it. Like, I know that I lose my attacker too, but they've been sculpting their hand to keep that card in it. Let's let Liliana do her thing here. Sorry, construct token. I think I'm gonna lose Deluge and Cabal Pit. Keep the Dark Ritual so I can do big things if I draw a big thing. The last card in hand was Ingenious Infiltrator. Okay. That was not as big or dire, immediately dire as I thought it would be. Back up Liliana. I don't think I need that. Just plus. I am discarding the Liliana, keeping the Dark Ritual. Brainstorm, powerful. There are Abrupt Decays in my deck to take out Rest in Peace and start building my engines back up. Ornithopter. I'm going to have to minus that, just because if Brainstorm hit a Ninja on top, I have a lot of respect for that potential. If they connect with a Ninja and start drawing an extra card and get out of this Liliana lock, I'm just in all sorts of trouble. Euroborg does help them, but I'm still going to play it. If they deploy a creature this turn, then Liliana kind of has to minus, and then I lose Liliana. Then things start to fall apart. Okay, maybe I'll draw Plague Engineer, and I can my Planeswalker. Like from the Loam. Awkward. Yikes. I think I gotta do it. Yeah, even if I plus, and they don't have a Ninja, they just attack Liliana, and I just lose cards and they don't, so I'm gonna put the Changeling in the graveyard. Stay committed to the no resources for you plan. Ooh, they didn't shuffle off the Brainstorm. They just slam Yuriko here. That might be worse. Rest in Peace coming in strong. Thoughtseize coming in bad. I have a lot of good draws in the deck, but we do need to draw them. Did they have a Ninja underneath that? Or is this just regular damage? Okay. No Ninja. That's good news. Wasteland's pretty good. I'm going to snap off the Wasteland. Then move out of this phase to burn off the floating mana, and then I'm going to Thoughtseize them. Or I can Thoughtseize now. What's over there? Please be a good one. Urza's Recall. All right. People are into that card today. Okay. Come on, deck. Plague Engineer. There's a Bayou. Yeah, this Rest in Peace has been really great. This Loam would be dominating the game right now with Cabal Pit and Urza Sagas if Loam was active, but it's not. Good sideboard playing. And I'm losing pretty quick. Okay. Well, here's this lady. I can plus, and then they have to spend energy attacking her, or I can minus and she just dies. I think I'd rather plus. I have 4 mana. I think I'm good on Dark Ritual. They discarded Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Because my plan in this game is to draw a relevant card and stabilize with it, and if their hand is full of cards, then they can answer it better. There goes Liliana into the garbage. Plague Engineer. Okay, this one is falling apart. Plague Engineer, I think, is still the draw. Okay, they started playing around Plague Engineer by diversifying their creature types. Plague Engineer's still good, though. Like, I can name Servo, and if they flip into a construct, I can trade off. Oh, shit. That's a 4/4 chilling. Alright, we're dead. Potent sideboard card. More Abrupt Decays are coming in now that I've seen that. Abrupt Decay and Abrupt Decay. We're going all the way in. Noxious Revival's even worse if they have Rest in Peace. Just makes it an extra bad draw. Can I cut a Mox Diamond? It's not a thing I've done yet in this league, but we've seen Urza's Recall. And that does add exposure to that. But getting ahead on mana when I'm on the play is kind of like the thing that I do. So I don't think I can cut one on the play. Curse Scroll is kind of insane if it gets rolling. Healing Needle can turn off Foundry or a Planeswalker if they show me a Planeswalker. Like Kaito, Narset, Teferi could all be in this deck. I think I've seen this player play Teferi before. Maybe I'll just go a little thinner on Toxic Deluge. Yeah, I boarded in a bunch of other removal. That's mostly fine. Okay, this is an accelerated Liliana, an accelerated Saga, Smallpox. I'm keeping this. Okay, Urza Saga. Make it happen. Ornithopter. Okay. All right, now I got some choices. I can home run swing with Liliana. Or I guess Smallpox is actually the home run swing. Okay. Urborg and Mox. I'm gonna play around Daze. And discard Swamp versus Wasteland's actually kind of interesting. I'm gonna discard the Wasteland. I'm gonna play Smallpox. Go straight to the hoop on this one. Force of Will, pitching Force of Will. Okay. A reasonable play. We might get ninja'd for the first time here. I got 2 cards off the Smallpox, which I'll take. End step Brainstorm. Okay, so they either have land looking for ninja or ninja looking for land. Let's hope they don't connect regardless. If they do put a ninja into play this turn, I can make a construct to block it. Because my Pox didn't resolve, I get to actually do Urza Saga things. They got planes. Rest in peace. Okay. I'm just glad that wasn't a ninja. That's fine. No attack there. Let's see what I draw. Life from the Loam. Right on time, you fucker. Okay. I still think Smallpox is the play. I'm gonna float mana off Saga. Get Curse Scroll. Is Retrofitter Foundry better than Curse Scroll? They're pretty close. Foundry's gotta be better though. Alright, fine. Fine. I'll get Retrofitter Foundry like a good player. But I don't like it. And then... Oh, I can Liliana this turn, Smallpox next turn. Or I could Smallpox and make a servo this turn. Yeah, I'm gonna Smallpox. That just pinches the most things. Like, I just want to remove every option they have as often as possible. Taking out a land with the creature is so big. I think I'm gonna sack... Yeah, I'm definitely gonna sack Urborg. Take them off black. If they were counting on my land to make black for them, denying that. And with my floating mana, I can make a servo. They sack their planes. I'm excited about that. That means they're not going to Prismatic Ending me here. They discarded Hurkyl's Recall. Wow, I'm glad that happened. Hurkyl's Recall is a beating on this board. Ponder did not shuffle. They found Polluted Delta. Found a white source. They have the Prismatic Ending after all. Oh yeah. Well, I have a creature in play. A land gets Liliana and puts them Hellbent. Should have been more specific. I am going to play that instead of cycling it. A land is very good for me right now. Another Loam. Cool. Alright, what's in your hand? I'm going to chuck this Loam. They discarded Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so rather than remove my creature and stabilize the board, they're protecting something good over there. I'd love to draw Thoughtseize. Land plus. Discarded backup Rest in Peace. Yeah, they're protecting something good over there, and it probably costs 3, so as soon as they draw a land, they can jam it. I wonder if it's like Teferi, Narset, is it just Yuriko? Yuriko's not good, though, because Lily can just eat her. Okay. Land pass. Whatever this is, I'm about to clip it. Oh, fuck yeah. And keep drawing bangers. Plus Lily, let's get this hand empty. Force of Negation. Oh, that's what they were holding on to? Sure. Alright, their hand just wasn't good. They weren't masterfully protecting some perfect card. It just wasn't a good card. And they're passing the turn again into my Liliana. GQ Magazine. Plus. Discarded Ingenious Infiltrator. I'm going to hit this scrub land. I know they have basic lands, but constricting options when I'm not really going to be using that for mana anyway. Seems fine. Ornithopy. Make my construct. Then Shadow Spear should make quick work of this game from here. Shadow Spear for sure. Play Verdant Catacombs. Stack your Ornithopter. Equip. They would need some sort of seriously potent sideboard card. Like, I mean, Hurkyl's Recall, I guess, completely stabilizes this board. But they need it right now, and they already discarded one. Okay, let's go. Moment of truth. We got the GGs in the chat. And that is a 4-1 with Loam Pox. I feel like I've 4-1'd every time I've played Loam Pox. Is there something... Like, I'm always impressed with this deck. I think Loam plus Urza Saga is a really insane engine. And I I don't think the Trinisphere was good. Like, I would rather have him to Turok or just something else in that slot. It just didn't really do what it was supposed to. Noxious Revival was really cool, just as like fake circle extraction sometimes, and we did use all three modes of it, like put a good card on top of my deck, put a bad card on top of yours, and hit Grizzlebrand. All three modes came up, and this deck has been a 4-1 machine for me on the channel. I think there's something here. Like, if you want to be poxing and playing fair, Life from the Loam with Urza Saga is not a joke. And how you season to taste around it is up to you, but Smallpox, insane magic card. Mox Diamond, busted magic card. Liliana, very strong, and the metagame's not really ready for her right now because nobody's really playing it. I think this deck is just genuinely defensible to play in a tournament. I am happy to report on that. On this particular list, you know my thoughts on Trinisphere. I think I'd rather have anything else. Sinkhole came up once or twice, but again, that's kind of a card from the olden days that we may or may not actually want in the deck anymore. I think I want 4 Hymn to Turok in this deck, like 3 Trinisphere, 1 Sinkhole out, get 4 Hymns in. Maybe the other Sinkhole can become a main deck Shadow Spear, because that is an important card for a lot of matchups. But the land count felt good. 3 Mox Diamond felt like the right number. The Saga Tutor bullets all came up. They were all good. 3 felt like a good number of Dark Ritual. Like, this is a pretty well considered deck list with the numbers involved. Managing like how you want fast mana in opening hands, but then you don't want to draw it ever again after your opener is pretty tough with deck building, and 3 diamonds, 3 rituals is a nod to that. A lot of smart stuff going on here. Baron Moore came up. We cycled it. We got it going with Loam. Cabal Pit came up. We got it going with Loam. We never ghost quartered anyone completely out of lands, but I like having the option. Just consistent, powerful deck. Remember to constrict options, even if it looks worse for you on the surface. Like the game that I went to, no permanents except Liliana against them with a land. Like, you just gotta make that move. Sometimes walking people into Mindbreak Trap also is the move. Just make sure you're getting the most out of every card, because this is a tricky deck and there's not a lot of room for error. If your opponent gets through your wall of BS and like connects with a ninja and now they're up a card, that could just cascade your entire house of cards down. Getting Grizzlebrand into play, obviously that should end a game, and it does. Surprise. Just make sure you're using everything, getting every drop out of every card. Headlich in Charge, thank you for resubmitting this deck. It's fun to revisit Pox once in a while. Folks, if you enjoyed this video, I actually have multiple Pox decks in my recording queue coming up in the next few weeks. So buckle up, we got more of this coming. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.